Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is Fishing Vlog number 202, and I thought I'd start off this week's video with these guys. These are the first batch of the zebra danio fry, and they've been doing really well, and there are an awful lot of them in here. Their feeding regime so far has been paramecia. I've been feeding them twice a day. I dump a bunch in the morning, and then a bunch more in the afternoon. Of course, they just live in there and gradually get fed on by the fry. And then I've started transitioning them to baby brine shrimp, which means I still feed the paramecia, and then I feed also the baby brine shrimp. And I know they're going to do really quite well on that. I've raised them before that way, and they're going to be my control. These guys, sorry for the bad focus here, but it's really hard to focus on these little guys. This is the next batch. They're about a week and a half to 2 weeks younger than the ones that you just saw. So far they're on just paramecia, same regime. These ones I am going to try and transition using decapsulated brine shrimp. Now, I've never done this before. I have fed other fish in my fish room decapsulated brine shrimp recently and having great results with that. But the problem with it is stagnant. It doesn't move. There's no lure for them to go and hunt them out and eat them. And of course, they tend to sink quite quickly. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one does. Because, well, it's an awful pain to do all these different kinds of live foods and stuff. So I'm hoping the decapsulated will work really quite well. Like I said, I'm having success with guppies and other things, but then again, it's very easy to raise them, so I'll just have to see. I mean, you can see the bellies on these guys. They're doing really quite well, and, well, again, time will tell about the rest of it, so we'll have to wait and see on that. One thing I've done, though, I took the pair of zebra danios out of that breeding tank because I was getting, it was just way too many. I don't want to overtax my paramecia cultures. I know I have an awful lot of it, but you can over harvest and may then of course not supply enough paramecia, and I didn't want to go to that level. I definitely want them to be able to keep producing at a high quality. I even added an additional 2 gallons to that recently, so we're going to see how that all progresses. Like I said, I'm testing a lot of this out, and these guys have decided to breed, which is really quite nice. I'm not sure if you're... Yeah, there you go. You can actually see when it's on the large screen. There's a nice batch of eggs there. The first batch, which you're going to see here in a few moments, is they laid on the pipe that goes up to the filter, and I couldn't do anything about that, so I just left it there. They got eaten, but I'm hoping that these guys will gradually learn to take care of their own fry, and then I can feed them directly into here. So I can just dump in paramecia culture, and hopefully this will work as well. So I'll keep my eye on these. I'll let you know what goes on. I'm hoping they don't eat them. That's my biggest thing here. It used to be at some point in time, way back when, angels were really wonderful at taking care of their own fry, but that's been bred out of most of them. So I'm hoping these guys will do what they should do. So this is the old one. This is the pipe. These didn't last very long. I think it was maybe 2 days afterwards, they're all gone. So I'm not sure if it was because of predation, because there is one additional angelfish in here, a marbled one. I've been leaving it in so far. I may end up having to take it out because of concerns for that, but we'll have to wait and see. These are obviously baby albino plecostomus. These are bushy noses. They're breeding really quite nicely. I do need more of these. Like one of the problems with breeding fish in general, I find, is as we have a culture for a long period of time, you tend not to pay attention to what's going on in it because it was always doing quite well, and sometimes you end up losing the right ratio of males and females, and they're old or whatever, and it just doesn't work out anymore. So I want to make sure I keep at least a few breeding pairs. These guys haven't done anything yet, but I have noticed that they were in underneath that pot a couple days ago, so I'm hoping something happened in there. I haven't really poked around. I don't want to leave them obviously alone and let them do their thing. Now this is the first batch of guppies I've raised solely on decapsulated brine shrimp and ground up fish food. So I'm quite curious to see how these guys turn out when they become adults, to see if there is any kind of nutritional change, if there is You know, obviously not getting whatever they need from that, if they're not getting sufficient amounts or whatever. We'll wait and see. Wait till they get older, and then I'll obviously talk about that a lot more. One other thing I've been doing in the fish room lately, oh, sorry, we're not at that point yet. This is the brine shrimp, and this is the reason I mentioned earlier is I have these three going here. The one on the far right is today's, and then the other one's done the day before, and of course the one on the far left is the one that's going to be fed tomorrow. And it's time consuming doing brine shrimp food. Also, of course, on top of all that, the paramecia and decapsulated brine shrimp. Also, I've been feeding green beans to the plecos and a few other fish, and also that algae wafers. And it gets to the point where my morning routine for feeding my fish, and again in the afternoon for the little guys, is getting quite time consuming. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get, hopefully, the kinds of results I want, because decapsulated takes far less time. And I don't have to worry if I miss a day. There's no big issues, because they end up, they eat the flake food, so it's not really a big deal. And yeah, the paramecia obviously are very easy as well. So this is a culture I just wanted to check to make sure that it was, you know, staying quite healthy and populated. This is a small section of the mix of all of them, all eight cultures, now soon to be 9. And as you can see, there's lots moving around in there. This is a tiny portion of, obviously, what I take out to feed to the fish. This is about maybe a teaspoon, and I take out to feed, let's see now, a little over a cup in the morning and another cup in the afternoon. So that's an awful lot coming out, an awful lot of food for them to eat. This is my second attempt at trying to get the camera to focus on these guys. They're just too tiny. I mean, you can see there's a belly on them. This is the original fry. You can see they're considerably bigger now than they were before. But I'm going to try and work on it. I think I might have to build another container for this so that I can get better focus. One that's a little bit more shallow, and I can put more than one fish in there. I want to show you these guys because there's so much breeding going on in the fish room that I thought that maybe these guys would get in on the act. But I think maybe she's just a little too old. She's been around for a long time now. You can see there's some signs of age there. They're not beating each other up, which is a good sign and a bad sign. Anyway, he's fine. Obviously a lot younger than her. I may have to find another female. I will have to see. They're hard to find females of any kind of age. Well, as you can see, this is taken off quite well. There's tons of roots in here. It's growing really nicely. I'm very happy about this. Yeah, I thought the watercress would never get started, but now that it has, it's just, well, everywhere. It grows really well. And I plan on, of course, using this, well, mostly just for, well, aqua, like just for food for me, to add to salads and stuff. So I'll let you know how that goes too. Yeah, so far it's doing really quite well. I just prune it every now and then. And as you see, it is also going over into another aquarium. Now this is empty now. I used to have a bunch of OB zebra fry in here. They got obviously quite big. I put them out in a client's tank. And as I said earlier at the wrong clip, I'm planning on cutting back on how many African cichlids I'm keeping. I'm going to try and, well, just try and have fewer Africans. I don't really have much use for them. And obviously the lilies over there. So thank you very much for watching. Leave comments, let me know what you think about all this, and I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.